Hi guys, this video's of me getting the two master packs at 20k and 25k in multiplayer 2. I have sorted the microphone issues now, but this first race was recorded before I had the mic. I'll start talking again in a couple of races. Really happy with that for a master pack. I'm just doing a test recording for sound really, but I'm also just going to race normally, so I'm going to do a gas tank on the Senna. I hadn't made any videos today, I've been relaxing in the sun. And in the sun, the internet's broken, as it always does on my street for some reason. Whenever it gets above 30 degrees, everything breaks. And all 4G disappeared as well. I think with this microphone now, my voice might be quieter, so I've got positioned better. But you won't hear the taps of my thumbs on the phone. Or you shouldn't hear it that much. Oh, he survived 2 attempts then. Three. And I can't hear him, he's got no sound effect. But my internet might be bad, given that it's been down all day. It's only just come back on. He could catch me there if he went to Shockwave. He's so close. I'm using my old microphone on a wired connection through a converter doing USB-C to a headphone jack. So I've got an annoying wire coming out the middle of my phone that I have to slide in between my index finger and middle finger on my right hand. And then my right hand's pretty much prisoner. It can't move anywhere. The thumb can tap, but nothing else can move on it. I got really stressed last night. At about 12:30, one of my neighbours hired a mechanic to come round and change the tyre on his car. And first I'm laughing at him for not knowing how to change a tyre, that you have to hire someone to come and change the wheel. Even if you've got a spare tyre, just change the wheel. And at 1 AM, because you hire someone, of course he uses one of those massive jacks, the pneumatic jack or hydraulic pneumatic jacks, which they pump up, but To do that, first he's got to drag it across the tarmac miles. And then to pump up the tyre, no, he wouldn't have a foot pump. Of course he's got some industrial pump that's really inefficient and takes ages to pump up the tyre. So it was about a 40-minute operation. Oh, and like a Formula 1 pit gun to undo the bolts on the wheel. That lasted until about 1 AM, and I was furious. And then at about 1:30, I'm going to get KD. And then at about 1:30, I wanted to take a shower and go to bed. And then I go to turn my water on, and the water's been cut off. Because they think we're all asleep, they can turn it off without telling us. And then I call up to report that water's been cut off, and they basically tell me, that's your opinion. We're not going to acknowledge what you say because you live in a flat, and it could be a problem that's not our responsibility. So they just don't acknowledge it until someone that lives in a house that's not in a shared property calls them. It's a bit of a get-out clause. It's a bit of a con, really. So you call up the water board to say there's no water, and they go, no. They don't even go, thanks for letting us know. They go, we don't believe you. But in polite language, they just go, we don't believe you. If someone more reliable calls us and tells us there's no water, we'll accept it as a possibility and then send out a crew to investigate. And they probably say this to everyone. And then everyone calls up and they says no one else has reported a fault. Well, no, it's because you've told everyone else that their voice doesn't mean anything. That made me even angrier. Then I woke up screaming about, so I was in a night, I don't know what nightmare I was in, but I woke up screaming pretty loud. Not screaming, like pussy screaming, it was shouting. I don't know what about, but I was shouting at someone or something. Oh, and then I looked at the news. Oh my God, that was the worst bit of it all. I haven't watched the news in ages. And then I just saw this soundbite headline about vaccine passports being required in clubs and venues. And I thought, oh no, this is the end of the world. And I just had to watch a little bit of it. And I didn't know about Freedom Day or any of this stuff. I didn't really understand. I didn't pay any attention to care what the rules were, let alone that they've been lifted. But then they haven't really been lifted because they've still got that people getting pinged because of a track and trace app, which you are free not to have on your... I don't know why anyone has installed that app on their phone. It's like, I'm a moron. I'm going to install an app on my phone that gets me quarantined for 3 weeks. Sorry, what was I talking about? I lost my train of thought because that guy was pressuring me and I let him by. Yeah, I watched the news, saw Boris talking. What offended me so much? I'm glad I've forgotten. Because it really was annoying. It's mainly all the stuff about vaccines. Like, I think some people will remember me saying how much I hated the fact that the media were pressuring people to take vaccines. And there was a big reason why I was bothered about that, is because I feel the pressure and I felt the pressure. And then my family, my dad wanted me to go to Cyprus. I had to get the vaccine to make travel there simpler and easier. Didn't have to, but it makes it a lot cheaper and the process simpler and safer. And then the day I had my second vaccine was the same day, I think it was the 8th of July. On that day, Cyprus changed their entry requirements for England anyway, so it didn't really mean anything about it. And now I can't be bothered to go anywhere anyway, so I just feel ashamed that I had it. In a moment of weakness, I agreed to it. But it's even more complicated than that, because when I got the first message to go and have it, it's sort of just my brain set. The reason I didn't like the pressure was because I knew I would feel the need to take the path of least resistance. I didn't want to end up 6 months later being told I have to pay £400 for the vaccine to be allowed to take the train. He's coming back up. But now these vaccine passports to allow access into places and creating the infrastructure to basically for people to have a health certificate to gain access anywhere is unbelievable. It's like next year your vaccine won't, the vaccine you've had this year won't be valid. You'll have to take the one next year. As the years go on, they'll develop and tweak the vaccines, and there'll be side effects this is where it gets weird, but that they like. So a side effect such as, hate to say it and then bother all the people that like to insult conspiracy theorists for no reason, but the moment you accidentally create one of the vaccines that makes people a little more fatigued and therefore docile and therefore crime reduces in that area, they're going to think they should continue to use that one because it's got such a good benefit of reducing crime. When the lockdowns first came in England, the police, a month after, the police were very proud to stand up and tell everyone how much crime had fallen during the lockdowns. It was quite hilarious, actually, to hear the head of police say shoplifting was down 90% when we all knew all the shops were closed. So it was a pretty dumb thing to boast about, saying shoplifting's down. But there was this there was a seed laid when she came up and said, oh, crime's down significantly during the lockdowns. There was this seed of thought laid in people's head that, oh, if we continued to live like this, we would live a life with less crime. And is that worth it anyway, even if there wasn't a virus? And now we're just sort of creating even more infrastructures of control, even worse than after September the 11th. And people are just sort of asking for it because they're scared. They're sort of, oh, it's ridiculous. And then they're clapping when more of their free. Oh, he should have KD'd me. I thought I was out then. He was spinning. Oh, I'll just take the luck. But I don't like KDs when I don't know how they happen. An accidental KD is an incompetent KD. Oh. Accidental KD just means you didn't know what you were doing. Oh, was that my player shot though? Oh, no. Was Shockwave one of the Madder players? Oh no. Right. I'm nearly at the 25k milestone. I got 6 Senna blueprints for the 20k milestone. Oh, it's so annoying. What's it going to be? Nice! That's a good gift. Good luck, guys. I'm madder than you.